Good morning, good afternoon and good evening from wherever you are in the world. This is the Automobilista 2 Community Cup for 2024. I'm pretty sure this is the third time we're doing this, and it's the third round, and boy, you can hear in the background what is going on. This is a very different style of motorsport from what we've had so far, and I do believe it's the loudest that we've had in a very long time. Welcome to the Austrian hills of the Red Bull Ring, known in AMS2 as Spielberg, but we all know it as A1 Ring, Österreich Ring, or that terrible thing that they put in Assetto Corsa Competizione instead of Portimao when they had the opportunity to. That might just be me though. Good evening everybody, my name is Eike, and I'll be on the mic for you in Server 1 tonight. Keep an eye out for Server 2 as well. Metz is in the comm box over there covering Server 2. Yes, that's right, AMS2CC is that damn popular now that we've got 2 servers of drivers. A little bit low on the entry list tonight, unfortunately. Hoping for closer to that 28 number, but 22 is apparently too dangerous for modern Formula 1, so we're really pushing the boundaries of what F1 cars can do. /S, if that wasn't obvious. This is going to be a fantastic race with the absolute cream of the crop from 11 different communities, and they are just about starting their fast laps. I believe that is Mr. Dan Lewis, who holds the world record here in these cars as well, who immediately gets outdone by Statue 1232. With the nature of this 15-minute qualifying session and the close pace, the close positioning of the cars and how short the track is, it has been elected that private qualifying is the best course of action on this occasion. Believe me, don't get used to it. I'm as unhappy about it as you are, but it means that at least everybody gets an opportunity to set their very best lap times, as Statue 1232 gets a big old jiggle over the inside bumps. A beautiful message on the rear spoiler of the SSR car. Keep fighting, Michael, referring obviously to Mr. Michael Schumacher, who several years ago now fell victim of not motor racing but skiing. We really do need to stop these racing drivers from doing other stuff because they're clearly no good at it whatsoever. Very, very interesting tactics by a lot of the drivers. 2 fast laps back into the pits, and they'll be coming out for another go with the first bout of laps completed. 11 minutes on the clock. Statue 1232 is on provisional pole, an entire 1/10 of a second, a 1/10 and a half, would you believe, from Mr. Dan Lewis from MVRC. Kurt Dustin for SSR holds third, so an SSR 1 and 3 at the moment, with MVRC holding second and fourth in the form of Pete M. And the rest of the drivers, you can see a mere 3 or 4 second, a couple of drivers yet to put some fast laps in, but that's totally acceptable. We can see, look, Erwin's only 8 seconds off. The driver that was 13 seconds off, clearly just having a much slower outlap or warm-up lap before they go for broke across the line. Lag Slug in 9th position at the moment. Need to get some... I am ill-prepared for this. Give me just a second. There we go. So we actually have the correct timings here now. And we've also got, just in case it's not abundantly apparent, the YouTube chat live and waiting for you to be posting. Who are you supporting tonight? Who are you watching for? Who do you think is going to take the win? And will I mispronounce people's names at some point during the evening? I believe that's probably a given free slot on the old bingo card there. Sound off in the comments then. Who are you cheering for tonight? Okie dokie, what have we got with some timing screens going? Dan Lewis has done a faster first sector as he comes out of turn 3. Yep, that's turn 3, not turn 2. Believe me, it gets just as confusing. And is beaten by a 10th by Dustin in 3rd place. This could be a very interesting fight towards the end of the lap. Coming down towards turn 10. Brake as late as you dare after the 50-meter mark is crazy, running right out onto the curb. That can destabilise the car, but that's not a problem for Dan Lewis tonight. He gets it all together and goes fastest in the 1st and 3rd sector, but does not improve to that pole position. This is going to be tight with 7 minutes to go. Who is going to take that pole position? Dustin seems to still be in the 2nd split. Yeah, he abandoned to the pits in that lap. Clearly pushing a little bit too hard, but now he gets to do it all again. 6 minutes ago, that will be, well, more or less five laps, including this out lap. Plenty of time to get those tyres warm and drain as much fuel as he possibly can from that enormous fuel tank. Have a look at some of the other liveries that we've got tonight. MVRC, we've been keeping an eye on. MSU, we haven't seen as yet. Another lovely dazzle pattern out of the MSU workshop, and a pattern that does your eyes in. Hey, look, it's carbon fibre on a car that has carbon fibre on it. That makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? Curb clippers struggling tonight compared to their normal pace, but let's face it, you can never really count curb clippers out of these races. They've won on strategy on at least one of the 2 previous rounds of this championship, and it wouldn't surprise me if there was another one in the offing. Beautiful white, red and black livery for curb clippers. NRT running their usual golf-inspired colours, looking very much like a modern McLaren. No complaints here. Let's go. Which one of you is Lando Norris tonight? RPM we haven't had a look at as yet. Running an interesting blue Red Bull-esque livery. I'm going to cheat very quickly and just have a look at the chase camera. If you can read this, you're too close. Our livery designers making the most of the real estate that they have on the cars. 10 tenths, Lagsluck in the pits at the moment. Pro out on the track running a very simple, that looks like a McLaren inspired livery. I wonder if they have a third pedal at the foot of those drivers. Those who know will know. Who else do we have? I believe we've not covered Noobs Gamers, going with a lovely fading livery there. AMS2 proudly plastered along the side pods. Reminds me a little bit of the Arrows, but not too much, because obviously Arrows never had any green in it. And I don't believe we got one independent who has chosen to run the Super Red for Ferrari-esque livery. Beautiful, beautiful liveries up and down the field. No real faster times at the moment. Liner Farmanto is doing his personal best at the moment. See what they can do coming towards Sector 2. He's 4 tenths up yet again. It's not his fastest sector, but it's quicker than he has been. This could be a step up on the grid. For Farmanto as he comes down towards the final corner. Track limit's a little bit suspect on the final corner because of, well, AMS2 things. As Farmanto gets all the way to 11th position. Fantastic drive for the independent tonight, taking vital points potentially off of the other drivers in the championship. Statue will still with that 105.9 fastest lap. Dan Lewis with a 106.057, 1.5 tenths, almost to the 1,000th off of the leader. Dustin still remaining in 3rd position. I'm going to get this entirely wrong. Gonchalo, I believe, with a message of support for MVRC. Love to see the support in the chat, you guys. This is a community cup. We love to see the community strength, as the strength of the understeer for Statue gets the better of him. Don't think that's going to be a valid lap. No, it's not. No, it's not. It was a 105.864, but thrown away in the final sector, just taking a little bit too much speed through there. Another fastest first sector for Dan Lewis. He's coming up towards the end of the 2nd sector. And what's it going to be crossing the line now? It's going to be fast again. It's a personal best. He's done the fastest final sector of anyone so far. If he can just match that 21.52 seconds that he had just now into the second to last corner, he's going to use as much of the track as he's allowed on the outside. Is this going to be pole position? He comes across the line, and it is to the top of the timing screens with a 21.402 for Mr. Dan Lewis, showing that true pace of the MVRC V10. I can't remember what these are officially called. What are they officially called? Nope. It doesn't say, typically. Dan Lewis setting the timing screens alight, taking an entire 10th out of the best for Statue, an entire 300ths out of the Statue in the 2nd sector, and another 10th in the 3rd. That's the 0.27 seconds that has made the difference. But now we keep an eye on Mr. KRT Dustin, who has set a fastest first sector of anyone. We run the whole gauntlet again. What's he going to do in Sector 2? It's not his best, but it could be good enough for 2nd position. SSR changing positions potentially on the starting grid. And with the track being so small, track position is going to be so important as they start this race. It'll get them clear of any potential issues. Will come across the line, goes no faster. Good evening, Mr. Volt. How are you doing there, my guy? If you notice, my voice is slightly better than normal because I'm using the proper microphone. Not my headset mic. Although that said, it was a little bit too loud, so let's dial that back a bit. And another fastest first sector by Dustin. We are out. We are out of qualifying time. You can't quite see the countdown, but we are at the end. Oh, the Sector 2 was a 10th off. Dustin does not think that he can go any better, and that will be almost the end of qualifying. Raptor NL not doing anything too big as far as setting the timing screen to light, but this could be positions for him. Comes across the line and goes no higher on the grid. Oh, good grief, 12 hours. Well, sit back and relax. We've got a beautiful soundtrack for you. I promise I won't talk over all of it. Yes, it's going to be a wonderful, I believe, 45 minutes of a race. It's going to be extremely technical. The drivers can't make it on a full tank, but they don't need to take a half a tank either. There's going to be a lot of different... There we go, 2 minutes break, perfect. So, take a breath and have a quick drink, as I'm about to now. Because on a track as small as this, with cars as loud and fast as this, I don't think you're going to get too much more exciting. But I do need to go and actually get another bottle. So I will leave you with a couple of minutes of peace. Believe me, it's all the peace you're getting with these excellent V10s circulating around a very small amphitheatre. Oh, and we are back. I have a lovely honey and lemon tea, which hopefully will see my voice through the remaining race. It's going to get very fraught. But I must admit, I was expecting a much quicker 2 minutes there. Haha! Evening, Kerry. Glad I'm sounding good as well. Always fantastic to see you here. How are you doing, my guy? So, as we take the start of this round 3 of the AMS2 Community Cup, Mr. Dan Lewis will start from pole position. Statue 1232 will take second alongside him. Dustin for SSR will start from third, with the AMSU car of Owen jumping up in the late stages of qualifying to fourth position. P10 will start from fifth position with Blankfile in sixth. Alpha Signal for SRGP doing really well for himself in seventh position. Eighth for Curb Clippers, as good as they will do in the form of Johnny B, with Super Bubaka for the RPM team in 9th. Tinners will start from 10th with Prue in 11th. Not quite 10 tenths there tonight. Nessie for NRT will start in 12th with Linus Falamanto in 13th. 14th will be J-Turn, the man that we blame for all of this. And Carapel will start in 15th for SRGP. Lagslug for 10/10 will start 16th with Michel Giamaroni in 17th. Raptranel will start from 18th. Lequando in 19th. Nonirat in 20th. And 21st will be Captain Slow. A fully stacked grid for this Server 1 race. Obviously not paced like they are in some other leagues. These are randomly drawn in a live stream that you can see on the AMS2 Community Cup YouTube channel. They are on demand, as they say these days. So you will be able to see all of the drivers getting drawn for this split, and I need to be very clever in about 6 seconds. Because if I don't do this quickly, we're going to have problems. Come on. Ooh, that's some desync. And we are away. It did not take long at all for the lights to go out, but they are screaming down towards turn 1. 4, 5 wide in the background as they come through for the first time. It looks clean so far. It's not clean at the back of the field. It is one of the NRT cars, the NRT car of Nessie, that goes around. Just the worst start. Thankfully, damage is not set too high on this server, so Nessie should be able to recover to the back to the back of the field, and running in clear air is going to be so important as they come down again, down towards turn 6, 3 abreast, and we know how many times this has caused issues in the past. Meanwhile, Dan Lewis in the lead by the tune of 2.5 seconds already. This looks like it's going to be a fight for second position, and we've not even got around the first lap. Big look up the inside for Pro in the 10/10 car, and he makes that position on blank file. I'm sorry, I've not heard a noise like this in a while. It's very emotional. Curb Clippers then up to 7th position in the opening bout. I believe that was Giamaroni. Nope. It was Tinez on the defensive from J-Turn, who's going to get the slightest of overlap and is going to get pushed wide, wheel on wheel. They should survive that, but they're both going to lose out with, who is that that's running the Benson Hedges livery? Oh, we love that from SRGP. Why have I not seen that up until this point? Absolutely beautiful livery, as there is a tangle on the outside as well. Just a small one between Statue, who's dropped all the way down from second on the grid to 14th, and with so much work to do, he's going to look right up the outside, and it's 2 cars off on the outside. It's Lagslug and Carapau who get together. I don't feel as though I cursed that. That is just the way of this track. Fastest lap for Dan Lewis on the first time for asking. Both those drivers got out there clean, but it looks as though it may have had some bit of impact on the wall. That could be a problem for both these drivers going on through the race. They do need to be careful. Where does the auto broadcaster want to put us? Nonirat playing defensive to Nessie. No, come on. You're sucking at your job, broadcaster. Come on. Captain Slow's up in a big old fight for position here. He's got 2 cars behind him. That is the 2 Noobs Gamers cars of Lequando and Nonirat. Lequando confidently being able to hunt forwards because he's got no one behind, and it's only the smallest of lockups for Captain Slow that is going to let 1 and almost 2 Noobs cars past, but defends to the inside. Good evening, Morsbeth. That is not a name that I recognise. I'm sorry, you must be using a different name on YouTube to what I know. But it's not all over yet. Captain Slow, ironically, getting a beautiful draft and drive off of the final corner, has a quick look to the inside, just trying to get up in the mirrors of Lequando here. Not going to make any difference here, but it's going to be a big impact as well. Tinez getting punted out of the way by Nonirad, it seems. Now I wonder if that's going to be a position attempted to be handed back. It's a big look up the inside of Captain Slow. He's going to try and get the position back once again. Either by force or by gentlemanly behaviour. But that was one hell of a punt on the exit of the corner. I'm surprised by that. Once again, also broadcaster being a little bit dim. It wants to put us 2 cars back, but we want to be watching this fight as Nessie tries to look again for that position. Looks to the inside, looks to the outside, just trying to see the apex of the corner. Nowhere near enough of the track being used for this to be peak timing. Off to the outside, avoiding action taken by Nessie. Where has he ended up? I had to pick one of the cameras. I apparently picked the wrong one. But that is going to be even more positions lost for Nessie and down right to the back of the field now. What is going on at the head of the field? It looks as though everybody has kind of calmed down and is behaving themselves. Although saying that, it looks as though Dustin and PM are in a very tight fight for position here. It is PM in the race conditions has got the car underneath him significantly more than he did in qualifying, perhaps running a lighter fuel load. This is where strategy is going to come into play. The drivers have got the option here of either taking a full load of fuel at the start of the race, which will keep them... Yes, that's interesting. That's a desync. Well, Dustin has all of a sudden got himself a bit of a break. Where does the auto broadcaster think we should be going? It thinks 8th position, and 8th position is the right place to be going across on the curbs. For Linus Falamanto is going to fall back for a few positions. Back to 10th, and J-Turn's going to say thank you very much on the outside as they come up, or the inside of turn 2 as they come up towards turn 3. But Falamanto not having enough. Another incident at turn 1. These guys are really starting to be a little bit aggressive. Perhaps not enough practice done in dirty air over the course of the race. Meanwhile, Raptor NL on the defensive from Captain Slow. He says questioningly. No, it was Captain Slow. He was up the inside of 2 NRT cars of Tinez and Nessie behind. What can they get from this fight going on? These camera angles are something else. They really are. Looks as though Captain Slow not able to capitalise on the draft of Raptor NL as they come through the second half of the course. Meanwhile, Tinez looking to make up some positions that they've lost out on through one reason or another. I'm not going to say any of it is Tinez's fault. Beautiful little block pass, no outbraking needed, bit of a lock up on the inside, and the space left on the outside, perfectly gentlemanly. This is the kind of thing that we expect to see. And now Tinez has to just hold the Italian driver around the outside. That will push, that will bring the other NRT car into the battle for these positions. And 17th to 20th are in the area as well. Just as long as they can... Oh, it's going to be a big look for Carapau, but nothing happening there. As beautiful as that Jordan livery is, it looks as though they don't quite have enough. It's 3 wide almost once again. And what you couldn't quite see off the bottom of the screen there was the front wing of a SRGP car coming very, very close to the back of the NRT Formula V10. Where are the other fights around? They've all separated out very, very quickly. I dare say that there is a significant split in strategy, as we have the top three separated by 4.5 seconds, and then another 4.5 seconds back to the next driver. Fastest lap, position 3, Owen for AMS2, so the beautiful red and black livery is the fastest lap of the race so far. I would suggest that those drivers are looking to take a very 50-50 approach to the race. Oh, it's a bit of oversteer for Carapau. He gets kicked over to the inside off of the curbs. This could open up the opportunity for Lag Slug, and he does drop in ahead as Carapau gets back onto the racing line to try and get a decent exit off of turn 3. That's as much as they will write on this occasion, but Lag Slug is not done yet. Captain Slow is up ahead. He wants that 16th position and wants it bad. It looks as though Johnny B's had an incident. Johnny B, who was running a lot further up the grid, and Falamanto as well has just gained a position. What's happened to... What did happen there? I wish we had replays. That'd be really useful. But here it goes, once again, independent driver trying to take away points from the teams here, not able quite to make it work on this occasion. Statue 1232 getting back up into the top 10, and more critical points for SSR as we go into the midpoint of this race. Lap 10 of 40. Dan Lewis sets the fastest lap of the race. In the background, now the auto director is pointing me at Captain Slow again. It seems as though there is, well, yeah, why are we not looking at this? Come on, silly auto director. Beautiful pass for Statue on signal there. Simple block pass, but couldn't get the exit speed there. It's going to be Signal coming back around on the outside of turn 2. Can he get it stopped to turn 3? That's the main question. It's going to be a much tighter stop for the Jordan liveried car. Statue gets back on the throttle. It's neck and neck. He tucks back into the slipstream. The slipstream really being effective on these old F1 cars. SRGP car goes defensive. We've seen this plenty of times before, and blocks out the SSR car. Now that brings the independent of Falamento back into the equation. Has a big look up the inside, right up in the mirrors. Not able to do anything as yet, and gives up the attack for the time being. Wow. So 12 laps into 40. Everybody can settle down now, right? Yeah, of course we can. That's totally how that works. Meanwhile, battle over 16th and 17th still raging on, just as vicious as they were at the start of the race. And I dare say Captain Slow not living up to his name at the moment, holding that 16th position and keeping Carapau very much at bay. As the fight comes across the line for their 11th, for the start of their 11th lap. Looks like Statue is hunting again against Signal. Might be worth, with where they are in the in the race, there's a distinct possibility that there might be space for an early splash and dash to get to the end of the race. It's not far off it, I've got to say. We could see some early stoppers, people who are potentially up behind slower traffic through one event or another. They could well find themselves pitting early to try and get out of that train and that dirty air. Captain Slow falling back ever so slightly from Carapau here. Meanwhile, Statue once again looking for an opportunity to get past. Again, they've got to be so careful with both these tyres and the fuel load with where all of these drivers are. There's ample possibility for them to get things wrong, but it's going to be a strategic race, this one. As I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted by all of the action on track. It's going to be a strategic race. Some of these drivers will have loaded up on fuel to reduce the amount of time to the tune of 3 seconds that they have to be stationary when they get to the pits. Others will have filled for a certain amount and may have to find themselves in the pits for slightly longer, but they get to run with a drastically reduced fuel load. As I say, almost to the tune of 3 or 4 tenths of a second is the delta if you run the car to empty. And obviously, running the car to empty means you can get a higher peak time. It's a small defence from Signal, but it looks as though Statue's got the pass done this time. A bit of a wheel spin on exit. A nice bit of smoke in the air, but it looks as though that pass is completed for Statue. Now, can he actually make any progress away? Next on his hunting list is J-Turn, 2 seconds further up the road. You can see him at the head of the field. Can Statue drag Signal with him up to J-Turn for the 8th position fight, and maybe possibly throw a Jordan-shaped V10 Formula 1 car at the AMS2 car? Oh, they sound good, don't they? Statue, in a matter of corners, has made his way back up to J-Turn. I dare say J-Turn may well be running one of the heavier strategy here. Judging by his pace, he's got 3 seconds that he may get a delta. That is a good couple of positions here when all things are considered, but it's just how much does he fight to keep Statue behind. He's could be protecting the 3rd place of Owen here with a strong defence from the SSR driver. However, they come down towards the final corner. There's just too much overspeed for Statue. He takes a massive chunk of the outside curbing across the sausages, and that is the pass made. But it's not all done for J-Turn yet. There is still the possibility of Signal putting the pressure on from behind. But a lot of the drivers really struggling with that inside tyre as they leave turn 3. There will be a lot of rubber on that exit eventually, just as soon as everybody is finished laying down their inside tyre. That's super interesting. I'm streaming in 1080p, by the way. YouTube is taking it as 1440p. Please tell me how the quality is, because I hope it's really good. Oh, J-Turn goes into the pits. The first of the strategic plays has been made, and it's going to be, well, we'll see how long he's stationary for. It's a new set of tyres for J-Turn, no reason not to take them. And a load of fuel goes in. That's as far as they're going to go. So J-Turn running the heavier strategy. Only a small amount of fuel. Go to Gimeroni. Go to Gimeroni. Thank you kindly. I dare say, is that Gimeroni that has made a position on Super Bobaker? Or is that Super Bobaker attempting to catch? Again, absolutely love having the comments made. I only have one set of eyes. I can only be looking in so many places. And it can, on occasion, be a little bit difficult to keep track of everything. Looks like that is Gimeroni running away from Super Bobaker. Their fastest laps imply that there is quite an amount of pace difference between Gimeroni and Super Bobaker. Half a second on their best lap. How was their last lap? As Lagslug now in one of the 10/10 cars, running the optional blue version. Oh, it's a big spin. Whoa, an almost stationary move by Tinez there on the exit of turn 3. For whatever reason, not able to get the power down for the NRT car. But who is next of the drivers to gamble their pit stop? J-Turn only dropped down as far as 16th position, so a pretty decent turnaround for the AMSU pit crew. And this isn't over yet for Tinez. Lagslug may have got the right track position at the moment. Nessie for NRT dropping into the pits. Will drop behind J-Turn immediately, but what does this mean for Tinez? We're almost halfway through. This will be lap 20 when they get to the end of this lap. So who will decide that they're going a full 50-50 split, and who will try and run a little bit later so that they have fresher, better tyres for the end of the race? That gap between first and second has come straight back towards each other. Oh, it's a big look up the inside for Johnny B. And Nessie, having come out of the pits with fresh tyres, is able to get the power down so much better than the Curb Clippers car. But the Curb Clippers car seems to have more speed in the straight line, gets the car halfway up the inside, demands room on the inside, but leaves space on the outside as well. Gentlemanly driving, as we've come to expect, but is not going to be able to make the pass this time. It's a mistake for Johnny B. One of the few that we see from the Curb Clippers driver. But coming down towards the final sector, is that his cue to pit? It's not as yet. But I would suggest at this 50-50 point, we will see a slew of pit stops as drivers let their strategy unwind. Only 2 drivers have made their stops so far that we've seen. But that number will soon be rising. Don't you worry about that. But Johnny B now slowly making his way back towards the NRT duo. Tinez into the pits. Where is Tinez going to come out? He's rolling once again. It's Nessie coming out of the final corner, so who is going to win out of this pit strategy? It is Tinez who gets out of the pits with quite a commanding lead, but with colder tyres, there's going to be a significant overspeed for Nessie here, who has to go defensive against Johnny B. Nope. Is that a lap car down? Nope. Lap up car. Nope. Ah, there we go. It's Owen, third. So drivers who are pitting are going a lap down. They're going to have to be very careful about how they carry on the rest of their race. Until these drivers have pitted, it's going to get very, very complicated now. Big burn up of the inside rear tyre. Thank goodness it's all virtual smoke and none of this is doing any actual harm to the environment. But Statue now with Superbo Baker dispatched, Signal dispatched, Falamento dispatched. It is Giamarone for RRC. It is Michel's turn to Mikel. It's Giamarone's turn to thwart or fend off the attacks of the SSR driver, Statue 1232. Back out on to the start-finish straight. Giamarone knows the score. He knows what's at stake here. Goes right over to the inside of the wall to dissuade any kind of overtaking. Is once again to go right to the inside. There is a bit of an overspeed for Statue there. They go alongside. He's forced to the outside. Giamarone doing everything that he needs to. He's going to get the inside again. Gets rid of the overlap and gets the traction down once again. Fantastic defense here from Giamarone. Top-notch driving. Gentlemanly leaving the space but being as firm as he needs to on the defensive. You are not coming through, Statue. And a big defensive move yet again, using the aerodynamics of these V10 cars, rudimentary as they are still fantastic race cars. And once again, the last opportunity the Statue has on the lap. He's going to see if he can get an overspeed, but it was a beautiful swing to the outside for Giamarone. Opened up the corner, the final corner, gets the straight line speed, and it's only on the braking that Statue has the advantage, but even then is forced to the outside. Can't do anything about it. Try again later. Another big look to the outside. That's the only place that he's being allowed to go by Giamarone here. He's going to try and get the cutback once again. Gets the power down. Doesn't get it down as well as Giamarone though. Now to the inside he gets the opportunity. They are side by side as they come down towards turn 6, and it's on the brakes. Does Statue have the braking ability? Into the apex, and that's the pass done. Fantastic lap and a half of staunch defending by Michel Giamarone there. Absolutely top notch. And as one of my commentating buddies says, that is the pass done and dusted. Giamarone now has a very secure 7th position for RRC and will be the highest scoring RRC car as far as I can see. I will rely on whoever it is that is in YouTube chat to confirm whether there's been a pit stop for the other RRC car yet. Actually, where is the other RRC car? Oh, have we lost one of the RRC cars? Hold on. Or did we only have one in this split? I hope not, because that would suck. Yes, I'm reading this. There is only... Oh, I am in the wrong position. God damn it. There we go. Ah, Captain Slow left the session. But now Super Baker on the defensive from Signal in the SRGP car by the looks of it. Signal has been through the pits. Falamento for the Independents, now in the pits. So a little bit later than expected, with 2/3 of the way through the race now. And it's a big look up the outside. Once again for Signal on Super Baker. A much more successful cutback here though. And that is, again, position gain. 9th position for Signal and SRGP. Oh, Nonny Rat. Oh, that's so unfortunate. I'm sorry to hear that, man. But we have a new leader. If nothing else, I dare say this may be on strategy, but Dustin to the lead of the race with a 20-second delta to Dan Lewis, who has a 5-second delta to Pro in the 10/10 car. Johnny B is making a pit stop. No, that's a bit slow. Come on. Baker out of, oh no, lag slug as well, out of the pits into some lovely clear air there as well. 2 seconds to Falamento in 11th, and plenty of positions to be made with some fresh rubber and some fresher fuel. Here come the rest. Blank file into the pits. Gimeroni into the pits, both at the same time. Battle of the pit stops. Who's going to get out ahead as the teams go to work? It's Blank file that gets out first. Gimeroni shall follow soon after, I would suggest, and they will be good to the end. Gimeroni's still in the pits here. He's still stationary. Why is the RRC car not moving? This could be a problem for Michel Gimeroni, who's had such a good race so far. As the positions slip away, what's going on with the Italian Supermaster? I don't see anything going on. I don't see anything wrong, it's just the car's not moving. The sole bullet left in the gun for RRC falls to last position and 18th overall. And I don't think... Oh, there he goes. So, what was the problem? We'll wait and see if the teammates have anything to say. But Johnny B now on the back of Raptor NL. Johnny B has so much speed in the Curb Clippers car. But Raptor NL is no slowpoke either and knows exactly how to race and how he wants to be raced as well. No defensive moves coming up towards turn 1. He is super confident he has the speed on Johnny B behind. And again, big look up the inside. Half a car, full car for Johnny B. And can he get it done on the brakes? Another big braking zone is going to get it done, but big drive off of the corner for Raptranel. That outside line working brilliantly for these super stiff carbon tubbed Formula 1 cars. Another big look for Johnny B. Space requested and left, and this time it's Johnny B that gets the better launch. Raptor will slot in behind and try and perform a similar maneuver in just a couple of corners time once he's got used to the new pace delta. It looks as though it's very late in the day for Dustin. He must be coming to the end of his fuel. And into the pits he comes. That is what we were looking for. How much does Dan Lewis have in the pocket? He's pitted early. That may have been a bit of a giveaway as to how much pace he had in the early stages of the race. Dan Lewis then coming out of the final corner. Dustin is moving. Dustin is out of the pit lane. Dustin is out. And Dan Lewis is only coming through turn one now. 5.7 seconds. The delta as they come across, and Dan Lewis drifts onto the grass in shock that Dustin has managed to outdo the MVRC driver. I said it would be strategic. And for the lead of the race, Dustin has performed the ultimate overcut and is going to has gone out to 6.6 seconds. Even though Dan Lewis has the warmth in his tyres, he's got the running pace. It will be an equal amount of fuel, conceivably, as we come into these closing laps. But that is a heck of a gap to overcome. Jim Maroney has gotten to the back of the field. Taekwondo for Noobs Gaming next on his hit list. Oh no, that's not. No. That's another car that is, I would assume, a lap ahead. Carapau, meanwhile, up one position from the start of the race. Looking to go up another one. Raptor NL is trying to go defensive, trying to play fair, but it's going to be difficult if he hasn't changed tyres. This could be a step too far for the RPM driver. It's another big front lockup for Carapau, trying desperately to get the car stopped. They come out of the corner side by side. It's a reasonable amount of traction for both of them. Benson Hedges livery car, the Jordan car, can't quite get the overlap on this occasion. You can see the impatience though, trying desperately to make that position. But Raptrinella at the moment sticking to his lines, not overly defending, not losing time, not being drawn into any kind of fight that he doesn't need to have to fight. Fight over third position, fourth position, sorry. Statue getting around the outside of Pro. Significant amount of downforce difference apparently on those two cars. Made it look absolutely easy for the SSR car. Well, it looks as though the broadcaster just wants to stick with this fight. Hold on just a second. I dare say that may be the closest one we've got now. Johnny B now on the back of Tinez, approaching. There's still 6 laps left in this fight, so plenty of opportunity for Johnny B to get to split the NRT cars. Even though I'm not so sure as I would want to do that. They're both very, very pretty and only 5 seconds apart. Game Replicant 16th. There's Raptrenel still behind Carapau. This gap is slowly creeping up. Let's have a bit of onboard time with our 14th place driver. I did try once again to get some nice camera angles working, but that didn't work either. So, yay technology. But this is very much becoming a fight incredibly quickly. Just going to leave you with this onboard noise for a second while I drool. God, anyone who says that they don't miss V10s is lying. Even the V8s are absolutely wonderful. But now we get back to the fight. Johnny B really within striking distance now of Tinez. You can see Tinez on the last time down the straight was very keen to go defensive. Show Johnny B the clear track ahead that he wasn't going to be able to get to because Tinez was going to put his NRT car back in front of it. But it looks as though he is starting to wind him in a bit. Again, apologies, technical issues abound tonight. How much work are these drivers having to put into just keeping these squirrely cars under control? Statue with the fastest first sector of the race. And holds the fastest second sector as well. This could be a statement of intent. It's 7 seconds to the next car. I don't think he's going to make it. But a possible statement of intent here. In the fastest lap of the race. Let's go and see how the final sector is going to go for Statue 1232. It's a good first sector. It's as 2/10 off in the second sector. What does the third sector hold? As he comes across the line, it is not quite a fastest lap of the race, but he now has 2 of the fastest sectors of the race. Scratch that. He has all 3 fastest sectors and goes faster yet again. It's down to 6 seconds to third position. I will eat my words. Owen is not safe in that third position. Nessie now behind Lagslug. The NRT cars together, potentially about to be split by a last-minute lunge by Nessie to regain that 11th position. All the points are important here. But it looks as though Lagslug may have just run out of tyre. No, that's not the right one. There we go. Mind you, Nessie's not doing too hot either on the old tyre front. More than enough downforce for everyone, not quite enough tyre wear. These groove tyres designed very specifically to slow the F1 cars down at the time. Makes you wonder what they would be capable of if they were offered the full slicks that the new F1 cars have now. But if there's going to be any positions gained or lost, it's going to have to be soon. They're on the final lap. It's been a quiet race at the head of the field, but good grief, it's been a successful one. KRT Dustin for the SSR team started slightly further back. Did he take pole? Surely not. No, he started second. Dustin started second, Dan Lewis started first, but those positions have swapped through the course of the race. It was a strategic race that gave him the road position, and since then he has taken the lead away from Dan Lewis. The pace has been consistent, and it will be a win for SSR. The first of the season, I believe, for Dustin. It's only going to be 4 seconds or so until Dan Lewis comes across the line, but still this fight over 12th position is over? Yes, it's over, and the two NRT cars will finish line astern. That's how close it was at the end of the day. KRT Dustin with the win. Dan Lewis to second position. Owen to third position. Statue going all the way back from the back of the field to fourth in the end, just missing out on a podium. And Pro rounding out the top 5. Blank file for Curb Clippers, doing really well to recover to 6th position. Alpha Signal for SRGP to 7th. 8th was Super Bo Baker. J-Turn just being inside the top 10 in 9th position, with Linus Falamanto rounding out the top 10. Lagslug will finish in 11th for 10 tenths, and we get to look at the full listing. Here we go. Lagslug for 10 tenths. Nessie for NRT with Tinners alongside the two Brits for the NRT team, finishing 12th and 13th. Johnny B for Curb Clippers finishing 14th. 15th for Carapau. Raptor NL for RPM. Laquando for Noobs Gamers will finish out in 7th. And Michel Giramoni, a very, very difficult pit stop, causing him to fall from what was a very, very good top 10 position all the way to 18th. I will scroll all the way back to where we are and do that as well, so that people might be able to hear me when I start talking to them. And we wait for the drivers to join us. So it's Dustin, Lewis, and I tell you what, hold on. Why are you sucking Windows? Come on, there we go. I do wish that the old game had a little bit of persistence. This is the man that we want to speak to. The man who took pole position by what felt like an age and had the lead of the race for so damn long. And in the end, it was only as far as second that he could achieve. Mr. Dan Lewis, is there a possibility you could accept the invitation to join the stage? There we go.
Hello.
Hello, mate. That was... I mean, okay, it's difficult. Is it heartbreak to come home in second position, really? It's still really good points.
Yeah, of course. I've raced Dustin before in one of his leagues, and I know how strong his drivers are with Formula One as well, and the strategy, they get their strategy on point, so I'm quite happy, to be fair. Quite happy with how it turned out.
Perfect. That was my main my main concern. I mean, to win on strategy, it's one of those really satisfying things that so many people take for granted when it comes to racing. But I mean, the strategy showed itself today, I think.
Yeah, 100%. I think doing the extra 5 laps, he would have saved maybe a second or two in the pit stop, and plus my little escapade cost me about 3 or 4 seconds. So it was a good show, fair play.
Yeah, absolutely. You had a little escapade, did you? Just the one mistake.
Yeah, that's all it costs in these races. Just that one mistake. 3 or 4 seconds can be the difference.
Yeah, absolutely. But taking, sorry, go on.
In fairness to Dustin, he seemed faster in the second stint. So yeah, all credit to him.
Yeah, there wasn't. I've got to say, when they came out of when he came out of the pits and instantly put a second on you, I was like, that's terrifying. how for those who might be watching that don't necessarily drive or might be newer to driving or something like that, just how demoralizing is it for a driver to come out of the pits against yourself with you with hot tires and all up to speed and everything, and then in that outlap they pull a second on you? What goes through your head when something like that happens?
You just try not to think about it really, because if you take your mind off the task in hand too much, then mistakes can creep in. So you just got to try and get back in your rhythm. Yeah. It's hard to stay in the rhythm in this car for 40 laps. That's the be all and end all of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of that, how tricky are these classic F1 cars to keep in a straight line?
They're good fun. I probably put about 1,000 practice laps into this race as well.
Oh,
so
good grief.
It goes to show, that probably goes to show what it takes to try and compete with the likes of, Dustin and Statue and a few of these other fast lads.
Yeah, absolutely. But you come away with great points for MVRC. That's going to do you no harm whatsoever in the championship. And to be fair, it's not as though it's the Curb Clippers or someone like that who pulled out the victory. So it's not a bad position to be in any case, is it?
Oh, 100%, mate. I'm looking forward to looking in my Discord to see how the lads went in the other lobby as well.
Yeah,
because we had some strong lads this week.
Yes, absolutely. And I'll be fair, I was looking forward to this round. I'm absolutely over the moon that I was able to come and commentate it, but I've now got that itch to fire up AMS2 myself, and with the wheel attached, obviously. It's
100%.
Absolutely. But yeah, no, very well done on that second place. I mean, you couldn't really have done much more. And as you say, the level of competition here is just so high at the moment that it just takes that one mistake, and you lost that position. But there's always more.
Yep, of course. It was a fantastic round. It was a good choice. Looking forward to the next one.
Absolutely. Actually, what is the next round? Let's get us up to date here. It is the Ginetta G58s. Oh, that's terrifying. Okay, and where are we going?
This should be fun.
Where are we going? Nope, I can't see. I can't see where the track is. We do have Jay in the chat as well, so we'll get that information in just a second.
I can tell you now.
Oh, perfect.
Now there is Brasilia, the full layout of Brasilia that we're taking the Ginetta G58 third.
Right, so even more terrifying. Fantastic. How do you think your chances are going to be next time out, Dan?
It's always hard to say. These communities are always stronger in certain fields, so you always find some stiff competition wherever you go.
Yep, absolutely. Nonetheless, being so gracious in defeat, thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for the entertainment you've given us tonight, and I wish you all the best for your prep for the next round.
No problem, man. Thanks for the stream.
Have a lovely one, mate. Cheers.
You too, pal.
Next into the come box, we have to have the winner of the race, Mr. Dustin. Is it Dustin or is it Kurt Dustin?
It's Dustin.
I figured that one. I mean, as you heard me say it to Mr. Lewis just now, a race won on strategy. Did you ever have any doubt that the win was in the bag for yourself? Dan did say that this is kind of your home turf as far as the cars are concerned. So talk us through your strategy of the race, because it was fairly calm at the head of the field.
Yeah, it was calm. I had a quite good start. Had to look out for Stubber a bit, who's my teammate into this race, because he was next to me in the first couple of corners, and I tried to give him a bit of slipstream. But unfortunately, he got hit later in the race, so he had to re-overtake everyone. And for me, it was important to stay within 4 seconds of Dan, because I knew I will pit way later than him, and I will only change tires. I had fuel for the rest of the race already. So that was why I was slower at the start of the race, but very fast at the end of my first stint. So I didn't really need to refuel much. Just change tires and just go out of the track and go for it. That's basically the strategy.
Wow.
And I know that also the lap cars might hold him off, so I knew pretty immediately that the win should be mine.
Yes,
because
absolutely.
It was all planned.
And to put Dan's mind at ease a little bit, how hard was it to stay within 4 seconds of Dan Lewis, who, for what it's worth, when we were loading into the server, it said that he had the world record for this car at this track?
Yeah, I could be a bit cocky and say he has the world record because I didn't drive, or any of us other guys didn't drive. No, I don't want to say something like this because for us it was important to look for the race, because we have driven this kind of car, the exact combo, a couple of months ago, and I had the pole in the race too, and it was 1.61, and I drove a 0, and then drove a 6, I believe it was, and that lap time that blew me away completely. Yeah. And when I already told in the chat, now it's our turn, because I knew with our strategy we have a good chance to beat him.
Yes, I see. Okay. So it was always going to be a strategic race for SSR, and it was always going to be one of those where you have to pace yourself, look after the car, look after the tyres, do all that endurance mentality thing, appropriate, bearing in mind the new partnership that Razor have with IMSA. And just look after the car, keep it under you, stay within those 4 seconds, as you said, and nail that pit stop as well. And just give us an idea, because obviously this was, if I remember correctly, this was your car and track combo, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So how much of that decision was it's the car that you drive, and how much was it just pure emotion of wanting to take us back to the, let's say, golden days of Formula One?
Like I said, we just driven this car a couple of months ago in the last Formula One championship, and as we are a community that is known for Formula One championships, because we have full grids with 20 or more drivers, reserve drivers, and also personalized car numbers on the real liveries of the car.
Lovely.
And for us, it was clear that we want to have a race that represents us. And in the last championship, we had 8 races. And this was tracks like Spielberg today, or Hockenheim 2001, all kind of those kind of tracks. And we knew we have the advantage here to win because the first 2 rounds weren't exactly ours, but right now we achieved what we want to have because the second server SSR also won, and independent drive of ours was third and fourth.
Fantastic.
And, yeah. So yeah.
So really
we
good
want
showing.
to represent us as a Formula 1 community, and also show a bit what we have another season very soon.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, you did all of that absolutely fantastically tonight. Congratulations on the win. Congratulations on
Thank
the
you.
points. And hopefully we get to see a similar display next time out when we're taking on a very, very different challenge in the LMP-shaped Ginetta G58.
Yeah, that's a nice car.
It's
the track
yeah.
could be quite a challenge, but the car is very nice to drive.
You should have seen this. You should have seen the racetracks that we and cars that we had last season. It was different, I think is the word. Anyway,
Yeah.
Have a lovely rest of your evening. Very much congratulations on the win. Hopefully speak to you again soon.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. And lastly, I don't need to invite him up to speak. Mr. J Turn, are you wanting to have a word with us on air or off air?
No, just say the usual. Thank you for the stream. I'm going to enjoy watching that back later. It was a semi-slick racing. That was Dustin from SSR that you were just speaking to. So It was their combo and a cracking combo indeed that it was. Not my cup of tea. I struggle with open wheels. So I'm happy to be top half. But yeah, cheers for the stream. Cheers to the great racing guys. For such a difficult combo in terms of, it's high power F1, incidents are quite likely. And I think the real race that this was modelled on had half the field DNF before the end of lap 1. I think they did pretty well. So I think server 1 had, let's have a quick look, 18 finishes of the 22, I think, started.
And
cheers for all your work.
None of the DNFs were from crashes as well. It was technical issues the whole way through. So very Formula 1 as well.
Yeah, technical issues.
Technical issues from Formula 1. Who would have thought it?
Indeed.
But I should have got the AMSU livery up for yourself being in here. Give me just a second. who was it that made the livery this week?
Loz Archer makes all our liveries. He does all the organising of the skin pack and makes... also helps make skins for communities that haven't got the skills within their team. But yeah, he does the AMSU one. He's an AMSU driver as well.
Yeah, did absolute beautiful artwork on the AMSU Formula 1 F1 car today.
Yeah, it's very nice. He did the logo for AMSU as well. So yeah, lots of credit to us.
Absolute genius. That is Loz Archer. Well, as I say, I you know me, I wouldn't have missed this for the world. I'm over the moon that I was able to be here, as I wasn't, in a different country. But nonetheless, yeah, it was good. As I say, we did get to see it on track on a couple of occasions, making the
whilst I was being lapped, no doubt.
No, I believe you were involved in a couple of fights as well. But yeah,
I was, yeah.
But yeah. Technical issues abounded tonight, which was really unfortunate, but it is what it is. Yeah, as always, thank you for putting all of this together. Thank you very much for all the time that you put into this and all of the chasing of drivers and organisers that you have to put in as well, because having been on the receiving end of both sides of that now, it's I can't imagine how much work you have to put into this.
Oh, at this stage, it's getting easier now, but everybody's in the swing of things. So it's getting easier all each round.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah,
and hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll get more communities soon as with the 1.6 update comes out.
Yeah, I think it's going to be intense. There's going to be a lot of attention on AMS2 when that comes out. I still think it's probably a couple of weeks off, but yeah. I have hardly driven it myself. I do have access, but I've hardly driven it, so I can't really comment on its good things or its bad things. But the general stuff that's coming out is that it's very good. So fingers crossed on that one.
Yes, absolutely. Fingers crossed is absolutely the right word for it, because I would love to be dragging some other communities across to AMS2, even if they're just in GT3 cars, because yeah. Yeah, the sooner I can get back into an ISI engined game, the better.
No, definitely come race.
Yes, exactly. Well, I'll bid you adieu. and I'll just get the stream wrapped up, and we'll have it. We can talk off air afterwards as well. Yay! Anyway,
yeah, nice one. Cheers, Ike.
Cheers, bud. So that will be the end of the session tonight. I don't think anyone else is going to come and say hi. So what I will say now is thank you very much for watching. It has been a fantastic time. Thank you for all of the chat messages and the recommendations and comments that you've left. Really appreciate it. You have a lovely rest of your evening, and remember, be excellent to each other, and wherever you are in the world, have a wonderful rest of your day. My name has been Ike Sky. This has been the AMS2 Community Cup, and we will see you next time in Genettas.